Notre Dame is burning. Notre Dame is burning. Our Lady. Ladybug. Ladybug, fly away home. Your house is on fire. Your children will burn. She couldn't remember now how many places she'd already stopped to ask, but her gut was hurting, her bladder heavy, ready to explode. Hurting worse than the 3 times. Once, twice, 3 times. She'd been sewn up after giving birth to them, her babies. Taken. Or was it giving birth, really? When she had to be cut open like a ripened fruit, fallen from a tree. Had to be cut open to feel them ripped from her insides like they were from her hands. From her hands. Not so long ago. Or was it yesterday? She couldn't remember. Her gut was hurting, ready to explode. She stepped inside the coffee shop. Inside the door now. She glanced left. She glanced right. The pain in her gut. Her bladder heavy. She stepped up to the counter and held her breath. She hated the smell of herself. She hated smelling herself's smell. Notre Dame is burning, she said. Our Lady.
Ma'am, you cannot use the restroom without a purchase.
Notre Dame is burning. Ladybug, fly away home. Your house is on fire. Your children will burn. But Our Lady is...
Ma'am, you have to buy something in order to use the restroom.
I haven't any money. My gut is going to explode. Please.
Ma'am, you have to leave.
She remembered now. She walked and walked. Where was the gas station? Nowhere. She just asked at the entryway at the hotel down the block. Holiday. Holy day. No, it wasn't a holy day. It was an inn. A holy day. Inside. No. She hated the smell of herself. They wouldn't let her use the restroom there. Not even on a holy day. Her gut was exploding. Please, I can't hold it.
Ma'am, unless you purchase a drink, you cannot use the restroom. You have to leave.
She glanced left. She glanced right. She bolted to the restroom door, yanked down the handle. Down. God, open, please, open.
Ma'am, you need a code to open the door. To get a code, you need to purchase a drink. The code will be on your receipt.
Yes, but my insides, her insides were so full. She could feel the stitches. The stitches, 3 times of stitches, sewn up, sewn up like a feathered pillow after they were taken, after they appeared into the world. Their bright eyes, their future, their soft skin, baby smell of milk, our milk, their milk, her milk, the baby smell of milk. Yes. I haven't any money. I have to leave. I have to leave. Notre Dame is burning. Ladybug, fly. She glanced left. She glanced right. Everyone there was staring at the floor. At the floor. Oh God, no, she couldn't. Not on the floor. She burst through the door into the parking lot. She stepped over the storm drain. She lifted her skirt and emptied her bladder. Stained. Skirt stained. She looked back at the coffee place window. Stained. She looked back at the coffee place window. Stained. Glass. Stained. Glass. Notre Dame's burning. Our Lady. Ladybug, fly away home. Your house is on fire. Your children will burn. Thank you. I just want to hand these out. You can pass them around or not take it. There aren't very many. So I have 3 minutes. I said 12 I would take. That was 9 minutes. I timed it. So this is a grief wheel. It explains what happens to people under extreme loss. This piece was my statement to the Christian church to hold itself accountable for its stigmatization of people with mental health conditions, including but not limited to anxiety, phobias, depression, schizophrenia, bipolar, PTSD, psychosis, borderline personality disorder, seasonal affective disorder, and grief. The woman in this story was suffering from a dissociative state as a result of the real loss of her 3 children. Symptoms of a grief attack after extreme loss can include the things that you see on this wheel: numbness, denial, anger, yearning, crying, sleep disturbance, irritability, guilt, hyperventilation, confusion, depression, withdrawal, aimlessness, restlessness, apathy, and feeling of unreality. These very human feelings are demonized by the church definition of demonization, blaming someone with a mental health condition for being spiritually weak, thus victim to delusions created by the enemy, i.e. devil or demons, at fault for not having enough faith, or quite bluntly, so spiritually defective as to be easily taken over by evil forces because of unacknowledged sin, a lack of faith, or obvious unwillingness or unworthiness to be blessed or healed by the mercy and grace of God. Notre Dame in this piece is a reference to Our Lady Mary, the historical mother of Jesus Christ. I cannot imagine how a real human mother, as Mary was, could witness her real human son, as Jesus is believed by Christians to have been both human and divine, being tortured and murdered for a crime he did not commit, and not having herself experienced some sort of grief attack, with symptoms that include shock, delusions, confusion, possibly even a dissociative psychotic state. It is near impossible for me to imagine that Mary herself did not experience any symptoms of grief after witnessing her son's torture and even death. Question: had she not had close family or been placed under the watchful eye of one of Jesus' disciples, would Mary, the mother of Jesus too, have found herself wandering the village, talking nonsense, seeking help, but being met instead with fear, spite, and rejection? Would she have been told her condition was incurable, chronic, and a result of some chemical abnormality programmed into a faulty gene in her DNA? We do not and cannot know. I address this statement to anyone out here tonight diagnosed with any of the conditions and others not mentioned above. You are not sick. You do not carry an illness. Let's get rid of this word, please. It's a condition, and it's neither contagious, nor incurable, nor terminal. You can beat this. I demand that the Christian church and all of its denominations recognize their influence on the self-professing Christians even today, yesterday, throwing stones openly on social media against people with depression who are committing suicide because they are being also alienating friends and family members struggling with what could very well not be some sort of soul deficiency, but rather a soul truly awakening after traveling its own long bout with trauma, loss, shock, protest, disorganization. A soul that can hopefully, with a little bit less shaming and a lot more human compassion, spiral out of a mental health condition into hope and recovery. There is no justification for suffering. Thank you.